Clarity is something every single one of us can recognize.
Mm.
And when clarity arrives for you, it's distinguishable. And it's such a freaking relief. And I think it's beautiful and important to know that it's actually a repeatable resource that you could tap anytime you want. But it doesn't come from sorting through your thoughts. And it doesn't come from categorizing your emotions. And it doesn't come from feeling all your feelings. Like that clarity is synonymous with the word truth, which is synonymous with the word reality. Reality, what is real, what is true, is clarity. That's that. So I always talk about, in the simplest form, the way you find clarity is that you have to go to reality. You have to go to reality to find it. And the reality that most of us have is just the present moment.
Mm.
So in the present moment, here we are breathing, right? Here we are breathing, our breath. That's in the present moment. It's not in our control. Now we could try to do some breathing exercises and we can do some manipulations that might be really healing or really nourishing, but it's not ultimately in controlling our breath. And that's in the present moment. And then as we keep reaching into the present moment, I always talk about using our awareness, something so much lighter than the mind, but is so naturally and organically in your capacity. So the thing that's listening to my voice right now, it's not actually your mind. It's something deeper. It's called awareness. And how you know is that it's so effortless to just hear. And you can hear my voice and you could hear whatever else is in the room, but you're not having to move something as heavy as thought in order to hear my voice. And so this awareness, which is it's just here, it's just listening, it's always a part of you. It's really what's looking out your eyes, and it has a very effortless quality to it. And especially in comparison to our mind, our thinking mind, our moving mind, our figuring out mind, our hiding out mind, that's heavier. And so this capacity inside of you that is really effortless and is so organically here for you. If we could tap into that awareness and just witness our breath from that place, just like you're witnessing my voice. And then we can let that awareness just witness the sounds in the room. And then the air on your skin and the furniture supporting you. And if you just sort of take your time and let this effortless awareness notice this moment, we're already starting to enter reality. Reality, what's actually true. And it's not the thinking story thoughts, which isn't to say they're not still there. Of course they are. And it's not that emotional residue and all that emotional material, which of course it's there. But that stuff isn't real.
Yeah. It's
so
like
it doesn't have.
I often like to say when you are stuck in sort of a depressive state, you're stuck in the past. And when you're stuck in an anxious state, you're sort of stuck in the future with all these fears of the future. And to come back to presence is you get so much more clarity in that place.
Already you begin, if you just come into the present moment, you're suddenly somewhere that's more real. Your awareness, your consciousness is somewhere more real. Now, the more time you spend in the present moment, the deeper it gets. And you can awareness itself can actually feel that life force as a tangible, real movement. And then from the life force, there's a just past that, there's this rich field of quiet and stillness. And so this movement is where you go. And when you're there in this deeper dimension of reality, you've put yourself into connectivity with this resource, right? Of life, the resource of life. It's the thing living you. So there's a lot more life you just get access to, but then what you get access to is clarity. That's the home of clarity. That's where clarity lives. It's not in your head. It's not in your thought process. And it's not in your emotional field. Like that ping of shame or that ping of despair or that ping of anxiety or that ping of doubt. That's not accurate information about reality. It's just not. One of the things that's really helpful is being able to recognize when it's fear subtly or obviously populating your awareness or your thoughts. Like there's, it's a little bit like if you're tasting a fine wine and someone says to you, well, there's tones of grapefruit and tones of nuts or whatever, but you're just like, it's just red wine. There's something about allowing your own practice of whatever it is to start to feel the gradations of your own fear and to have that kind of emotional intelligence that is a skill that you can develop that says that can recognize when anxiety is there or can recognize when doubt is there or can recognize when worry is there. And I think it's just so essential and so important to say, this is not accurate information. This is emotional storehouses from wounds in your system. It's not reality. And that's so important, which isn't to say it's not there. It's to say, where's reality? And can we go there? And because I don't think people have a problem recognizing clarity. When clarity comes, it's like, yes, it's, it's like if you're thirsty and someone gives you water, it's clearly, it's refreshing, so when clarity comes, you've got it, but you do have to be aware of the fear and move towards something else.
Because I think oftentimes with fear, it can be like, you're in so much fear that you're like, yes, I need to do that because, you're feeling this fear or pressure or whatever. Yeah. And that can feel like clarity because you've kind of convinced yourself.
Yes, fear is really good at that. Fear is so good at saying this is urgent and important. Like it's like a subtle coding in the field of it, right? Like you get this pang. Let's say you get this pang of shame. That's a really big one, right? Like you get a pang of shame or humiliation, and inside of that is something really charged, saying this is important. This is so important. And it's easy to, if you haven't spent the time examining it or being aware of it, it's easy to think that it's real.
Yeah.
The lucky thing is you've spent your whole life with anxiety, with shame, and none of it's turned out to be real. And so we get this wonderful experience of like, I spent the last 20 years worrying, sometimes worrying myself to sick, and I couldn't sleep at night. None of it ever came to be true.
Yeah. Oh gosh, imagine if we could collect all those hours back. That would be amazing.
Yes. And also we tell stories, and it's important for podcasts like this and for us, these conversations, to be like, to challenge those stories. Like we say, it's my job as a parent to worry. No, it's not. There's no single definition of parenting that includes worry. It's not. It's literally not the definition of parenting. Now, does becoming a parent when you don't have a really confident skill set trigger worry? Sure. Does indulging the worry support you? Has that supported your children? Who has that supported? Nobody, ever. And as adults, right, we have parents. My mother says this to me all the time. Oh, it's my job, Kiran, to worry. And I say, Mom, if you took your worry and you wrapped it up and you offered it to me for Christmas, I would not thank you for it. There's no gift in your worry to me.
Yeah.
And there's no gift in it to you either.